Good afternoon, it's Hank in Phoenix. Today I'm going to make keto breakfast. We'll call it Hamburger Hash. What we're going to use is we're going to use one serrano pepper, a couple of mushrooms and some onion, a hamburger ball. I buy my hamburger in the store, try to get it as much fat as I can. Keto wise, you want to eat some fat, so then you just break out one of these hamburger balls. I'm going to make 2 hamburger balls today because I am hungry. And I have a little bit of blue cheese. I'm going to finish it with maybe a touch of garlic. So I've got my pan heating up. I'm going to put my hamburger balls in there. I'm going to add a little more olive oil to it. Olive oil is super good, omega-3. You almost can't get enough of it. Super good, especially on keto. Now I'm going to take my little bit of vegetables. I'm going to cut my onions up in big pieces. I'm going to cut my serranos down to kind of like almost like a BB, almost like that. And then I'm going to do the mushrooms. And then I have kale. It's frozen. Kale, you use it as much as you can. When it starts going bad, you throw it in the freezer. I'm going to take my cabbage like this. I take a whole cabbage, cut it in 2, cut the core out, put it into big slices like that. So when you're cooking, it's easy. If everything isn't easy, you won't do it. It's just as easy to throw some waffles, frozen waffles in here. This is a really good breakfast. I eat this 2 or 3 times a week. 2 times a week for sure. Really good meat, really good vegetables. That much. So that is 2 slices of a small cabbage, about 3/4 of an inch thick, or a cup and a half. The kale is going to cook down. As soon as what we're doing with our pan, I'm browning up that meat. Now I'm browning up also my skillet. You want your stainless steel skillet to get some brown on it. That brown is what we're going to create our sauce with. As soon as it's cooked down a little bit, I'm going to put and then the mushrooms and the other salt. So also in this breakfast, we're going to have 2 eggs, which I try to eat 2 eggs almost every day. The purest form of protein I know about, and I don't want to get tired of them. So in keto, you're going to do a lot of eggs. Now I'm going to start scraping off the brown off my hamburger balls and put it on top of the onion, and it'll make a flat spot. And that's kind of how you're cooking this up. Starting to get some brown. Skillet's getting brown. That's what's going to give us our flavor. So now once I have brown on my pan, then I add all my cabbage. 1 shot. I'm going to put it all around the edges, and I'm going to add my kale. Frozen kale. Kale has to be cooked down quite a bit, and so does cabbage in my opinion. So, and my mushrooms. Got a hamburger ball half frozen. I've got a bunch of brown skillet from cooking it. I've got my onions, my serrano peppers. We're going to let it cook. At this point, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of pickle juice. I'm going to pour this pickle juice right on top. This is like a 1/4 of a cup. You're making moisture because you want to steam up those vegetables you put in there because you want them soft. That's how you make this taste really good. So then you let it cook down. You move that hamburger as you're going. You can scrape the top. The hamburger will cook in layers. So you scrape the top of that, and then you just let your pickle juice do its trick. So now it's going to steam in there, and there we go. So super easy breakfast, super nutritious, and it's keto. It's about 1:30. I had my coffee with some cream and a little bit of coconut oil. Sometimes I put butter in it in the morning. I eat about 1 when I get hungry, but that's what the coconut oil does. Now this is my big meal. So I eat my big meal, and then later on tonight about 6, I might have some type of cold cuts with a little cheese. That's just the keto diet. So you want to stay, if you're heavier, you want to stay super tight on the keto diet. And really the bottom line of all of it is just no sugar, no grains. That's it. So break that down. There's stuff out there that's okay, but if you really want to knock out a lot of weight right off the bat, no sugar, no grains, and then eat. And the way I do it is I eat a lot of really good vegetables, specifically cruciferous vegetables, and a lot of poor glycemic vegetables. I've seasoned them really well, and I do a lot of oil. I do a lot of olive oil. I do a lot of omega-3 any way I can get it, and I do coconut oil. Those are what I do, and your body loves it. So you gotta get used to it. I'm flipping over the meat, scraping off the brown, putting it on top. I want my cabbage and everything cooked way down. So I'm steaming it in pickle juice. Let that go for a while. Cooking that, I flip it over again to see how it's red. I have 2 balls in there that are cooked down to about that big. So they're almost done. When they're done, food's gonna be done. And it'll be done well. Scraping all that brown off the top. The other way to make this, the other part of it is you're scraping the brown with using the cabbage and the kale. And you're scraping all that brown off and creating yourself a little sauce. That's what makes this very good. A tiny bit of red left. Now you go to step 4, which is you season this. Now I'm going to use cumin. I like cumin. This is Tempe, Arizona, or the Southwest. Cumin is, I think it's fantastic. You might not like it, try what you like. I'm gonna put cumin fairly heavy, like maybe 1/16 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna use a little cayenne peppers, really good for you. I used to put them in my smoothies even, I probably still will. So this is gonna make it a little bit hotter. You don't have to go this hot. You don't even have to use serranos, you can use jalapenos. Make sure you cut the seeds, the stems out of it like I did, very mild. You can use bell pepper, very, very mild. All those are super good, but this particular, now I'm gonna put oregano in there. Ground oregano, and then I'm gonna salt it. It's almost moving everything around. I got one little piece of red hamburger left. I'm mixing all that hamburger in real good together. Starting to get some hash, that's what we're looking for. So if you're looking there now, there's just one little piece of red right there. And everything else is good. And let that cook down a little bit. I'm gonna hit it with a little garlic salt. Now, garlic, as you make this, cabbage and kale, they really absorb salt. And so you gotta put a pretty good amount of salt. I've seasoned it up pretty well. That's cooked down pretty well. That's about where I need it to be. And I'm gonna put 2 eggs right on top. Turn it down to about 2. You can make this breakfast with broccoli and cauliflower. You can make it with just cabbage, one of the hardier cruciferous vegetables, and throw a bunch of zucchini and white squash on top of it. All kinds of stuff you can do. Usually you cook it with some type of an onion. My last ingredient, a little bit of blue cheese right on top. This is about 1/2 teaspoon. You just want to put a little all over. It doesn't have to be on the eggs. Just give everything a little blue cheese flavor. Now you don't have to use this. You could use Sonoma Jack. You could use any kind of cheese you like. We're getting super close. See those eggs? We're watching those eggs. Okay, Hank and Phoenix, cabbage, kale, hamburger, and eggs. Hamburger hash. Here's what it looks like in the skillet. I'm gonna plate this up. Now I have my eggs exactly how I like them. This is Hank and Phoenix hamburger hash. Cabbage, kale, and eggs. Very good, very strong keto. You guys have a good one.